بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Okay, so previously we have seen the OSPF default route configuration with the default information originate options. Now with this option, whatever the default route I have in my routing table, this default route will be advertised to all the routers inside my OSPF domain, and that's what we have verified just now. Now there are some additional options we can configure after this default information originate. If I just go and verify on the router 2, so if you verify on the router 2, we go to the global configuration mode, and here when I use default information originate, we have some other options. Like the first option, we'll try to see what is always here. Now the always is going to ensure that now there are some options. Now by default, what happens is whenever now this default route, whatever present on the router 2, this default route will be only advertised if this is in the routing table, and it will be advertised as O** or O** route, whatever the OSPF route here. Which means the dependency here is the default information originate command will not advertise that particular route if that particular route is not present in the routing table. Which means, let's say due to some reason, if this static route has been removed or there is some problem, sometimes if the next hop is not reachable, then also it will remove the static default route. So because of any reason, let's say the default route has been removed, like what I'll do is I'll try to go and go on the router 2. If you verify the configuration of the default route here, so either I can simply shut down this interface to verify this, because even if I shut down this interface, the next hop will not be reachable. Either I can do that way, or I can simply go and remove this. So what I'll do is I'll try to remove this one, or you can simply go and shut down the interface. Okay, so it's up to you. Like as one by one, simply shut down the interface. So assuming that particular interface goes down, you can just assume that this interface goes down. Now if I go and check the routing table, if I say show IP route static or show IP route, I don't see the default route, which means if I go and check on the router 1, if I say show IP route OSPF, I don't see the default route also. Now the dependency is, as long as I have this default route in the routing table, this default route will be advertised in the OSPF. And due to some reason, if this default route has been removed, maybe misconfigured or someone removed or shut down the interface, any reason, automatically the default route will not be advertised. But maybe sometimes in the production scenarios, you just want this default route to be advertised irrespective of whether it is present in the routing table or not. So in that scenarios, I can simply go and say always. Now the always keyword will tell that, okay, don't check whether that particular default route is present here or not. Means I do have a default route here based on S**, and based on that it is advertising the OSPF default route, right? Now if this is removed from the routing table, still I am telling my head office that any unknown packet should come to the head office. Means after that, head office will take care of what to do. So I still want every branch office should get a default route, whether that is present in the routing table or not. So we can add a keyword called always. So when you add this keyword always, it's going to tell the router that advertise the default route to other routers, even you don't have your default route in your routing table. So which means if I go and change this behavior, so already the default route is not present now. So I'll go and say always. So when I say always, now if I go and check, I should see the default route is still being advertised. Even if you check the router 2 is not having the default route. Okay, so mostly in the production scenario, sometimes you don't want this default route advertisement should impact my local routing table with the default route. So we use a keyword called always for that reason. Now there are two quick options we'll see. Now the next thing, let's see some options like the metric and the cost. Now by default, whenever this default route is advertised, we already seen the always keyword, and the default, the route type will be O asterisk E2. So it's a kind of external route actually. External route, generally the routes which are coming via redistribution or coming from a different protocol. Because when you're advertising the route from any other routing into the OSPF, like either a redistribution, you see this external output. So the default will be OE2, 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 and the default cost will be 1. First, we'll talk about the cost. So if you verify the routing table, the default cost you see is 1. So the default route will be advertised with the cost of 1. And the default metric type will be E2. E2 will be the metric type and the cost will be 1 by default. And probably you may want to change the cost. So if you want to change the cost, like you don't want to use the cost of 1, instead I want to use it as 100 or 50 or any other value other than 1, we can go and manually define the metric where I'm saying whatever the default route which is being originated, the cost should be 100. It should start with 100. And the default metric type will be E2, and or we can change this to E1. Now the difference between the E2 and the E1 is, let me quickly show you the verification directly here in the configuration here. So what I'll do is, let me make that interface back to up, which I shut down previously. So what I'll do is, I'll go to router OSPF 1 and we'll say default information originate. I'm using the always keyword, and I'm going to tell the metric type 1. First, I'll explain the metric type 1. So when you say metric type 1, you can see the type will change from 2. External type, there are 2 types of external routes in OSPF, E1 or E2. Now the difference between these two is, when you use E2, whatever the cost we add here, let's say we are giving the cost value of 1, the same cost will be on the next router. And if you're another router, the cost remains the same. And if you're another router, the cost remains the same. So which means in case of E1, the cost will not change. It will be the same cost what is given at the time of redistribution or at the time of advertising the default route in our case. So that's the reason, that's a thing. And that's the reason you see the cost here 1, because the default cost is 1. You see 1 here, as well as if you connect one more router here, one more router here, you see the same cost. But when you change this cost to E2, now this will change, or it will add the individual cost, which means the cost while advertising is 1. So it will add the link cost. What is the link cost here? This link cost is 64. So it will become 64 plus 1, how much? 65. And let's say the cost is 10 here. Let's say the interface cost, it will become 60 plus 65 plus 5, 75. It will become 85. It will become 95. Like that, it will increment, or it will add the individual cost here, whatever the cost on the interface, just like a normal OSPF behavior. And the default cost, as I said, it is 1. If you want to change the cost as well, we can simply go and change the cost to 100. Where I'm saying don't use the cost of 1, you can tell the cost to use as 100. 100 means the cost at the time of redistribution is 100, and this link is 64. Total becomes how much? 164. So if it is E1, then it will become 164. If it is E2, it will be how much? It will be 100. Because it will be as it is the same here as well. So mostly in the production networks, we always prefer to change to E1, because you always want the cost should increment, or it should add the individual cost, whatever is present on the individual links, and you always want to change that. That's something recommended. So these are some of the additional options we can go ahead, and I can say default cost is 1. We can change it to any other value by using this option. And the default cost metric type will be E2, which will not increment the cost, which is the default. And when you change, it will change to E1 as well.